Cenk and Anna are hitting on like every point that I would want them to hit on. They are so far killing it. I can tell they really prepared for this. Like, full credit here. But anyway.
Likely Republican voters decide to vote for you over the former president.
Yeah, look, I think that the more he's being...
If Vivek mentions birthing persons right now, he wins over the TYT demographic. Okay, that's enough. I'm not going to be petty about this. We know who the actual enemy is here.
Unjustly prosecuted and really attacked using the levers of the justice system, the more I felt a sense of obligation to stand up for what is right. And I also believe in judging based on results. What are the results that I ultimately judge a president by? Did you keep us out of wars? And did the economy grow under your watch? There's a lot of other things that matter too, but those are two easy metrics. And I said he was the best president of the 21st century. That's what I said in the debate stage. I stand by it. I think I can unite this country by reaching the next generation of young Americans that have lost all semblance of national pride. And I can give you statistics to back that up. I mean, 60% of young Americans today say they would sooner give up their right to vote than to give up their access to TikTok. We have a 25% recruitment deficit in the US military, less than 16%.
That is a real concern. The right to vote is one of those things that people don't really tend to appreciate, like in a direct like I bet you a lot of people would sell away their right to vote for $1,000. So if you imagine that, you could imagine like a wealthy dude going district to district and buying up people's right to vote, like spend maybe $1 billion, and then a Republican would never again lose, you know, would never lose a federal election again. So it's one of those like externality things, I guess.
I care about the details. Facts actually matter. I don't care about,
the details
random
as well.
Jousting
and you just implemented a law having to do with political speech of a president and extended it to the actions of the president. If the actions of the president are criminal, he should be held to the same. Excuse me, I'm still speaking. Can you please let me finish my statement? Okay. If the actions of the president happen to be illegal actions,
man, this is why it's so disappointing that TYT is huffing fucking a broken gas main, because when they do their shit, they know how to do their shit. My problem with Anna Kasparian has never been that she's stupid, I guess, outside of the extent to which inhaling the gas fumes makes you stupid.
In the context of our democratic process, you genuinely believe that that individual should not be held accountable for what he
sat his white ass down and listened.
Any former sitting president of the United States can attempt to steal elections, can attempt to implement fake electors, and go against the will of the American people. Is that what you're arguing here?
And I just want to address you correctly. What's your name?
I mean, you just came on my show. You don't know my name? My name's Anna.
I don't actually. I thought I was talking to Cenk. What's your name?
My name is Anna.
Anna.
He's pulling the Emma Vigeland strategy, but I don't know if it's going to work here.
Good. No, we've been chatting for a while. I just wanted to address you conversation.
Should have prepared for the interview ahead of time.
Well, Anna, you guys invited me on your show. I'm making some time for you guys. I'm happy to have the open debate. Let's get some facts actually straight here.
I thought you were detail oriented. I don't know. It's just you're the one.
So there is no crime here that can be charged. That's the answer. There's no relevant crime. Now, can voters...
How embarrassing for a person running for president to do a fairly high-profile interview, and the first subject he gets hung up on is defending his opponent. Like, seriously, this is a great shot, for one. Literally, like the first thing he gets hung up on is like trying to explain how the person he's supposed to be running against is like perfect and flawless and never did anything wrong.
Even though I'm running against Donald Trump, I would pardon him if I'm elected president, because that will move this nation forward.
Ford pardoning Nixon just like permafuck this country. We do not believe in accountability for political leaders. Again, keep in mind, he is running against Trump here. This person is allegedly supposed to be running against Trump.
And just to be clear, you have absolutely no problem with the Trump campaign implementing fake electors in the state of New Mexico, which had no pending litigation in regard to election fraud. You're okay with that?
There is a difference between what I've made the same
judgment. Yes or no?
I don't think that's illegal. I do not think
you don't think that's
anything
illegal.
That's been laid out.
Okay, you don't value our democratic process. Great to hear it.
I don't think anything that's laid out has been a violation of the law. That's what I believe.
That's amazing. Okay, all right.
Amazing.
Thanks for watching.
Okay, this is quality content. We're watching the whole playlist.
So any way of using your government connections to make more money, I think should be banned.
So if someone, for example, was in charge of the Middle East policy in an administration, and then they
dude, they're like laser focused. Cred where cred's due, man. For like, I'm thinking in my brain right now, like, you got to bring up Jared, right? You got to bring up Jared, right?
administration and immediately got $2 billion from someone that's in the Middle East,
the
country that's in the
Kushmaster.
Middle East, that they were in charge of handling policy on, and might have even, according to some rumors, passed intelligence on to. That obviously shouldn't be allowed to happen. That is massive corruption, right?
Okay, predict the response. Is he going to deflect by answering another question that wasn't asked? Is he going to say, you guys are obsessed with Trump? Is he going to say, well, I don't know about the details of any of that, but hypothetically, if that did happen, and I don't know what you're referring to, but if that did happen, that would be kind of bad, I guess. What is his response going to be?
Well, if somebody is running for president who fits that description, you let me.
Yes. Yes. Well, hypothetically, if that was hypothetically to happen, you know, maybe I guess I would. You just let me know if that ever happens, haha.
No, but I've been calling out the people who are running for president.
So that's Jared Kushner.
Who do?
Jared Kushner. So are you okay with that, or is?
I mean, if I'm judging the first half of this interview as extrapolation to the second, I can't verify all of the facts that you're.
It's the 2 billion. We know he has the okay.
Politicians in either party should not make money off of their time in public service beyond the salary that they're paid. That's a general principle, and we should apply it evenly across both political parties.
If we found out that the Saudis decided to buy the PGA and funnel all of or a lot of the tournaments to, coincidentally, Donald Trump's golf courses, right after he was in charge of policy with Saudi Arabia, you would be outraged by it.
Really regretting the interview about now.
So I don't understand this game of innuendo. I have no idea what.
See, look, he's like, he's doing the guy incognito. I have no idea what you mean. This Jared Kushner. I have not heard any of the facts associated with this most curious dilemma you have presented me. I am anti-corruption. Just don't ask me about any actual corruption that's happened by the guy whose cock I like sucking. He's doing so poorly. Yeah, that's why like stuff like this is really special, and why it's really important to be able to tear down people like this. Because politicians who are this cucked do not do well with direct interviews. Like, this is why most politicians will only accept interviews from like CNN or what, like they'll only accept interviews from like stuffy, like, you know, Harvard educated, rootin' tootin' point shit, like fucking bitches, basically. Because if you actually directly, aggressively challenge their positions, they fall apart pretty easily, you know? Vivek made a huge mistake agreeing to this. This is really dumb. Why'd this guy accept the TYT invite? Well, I can't read minds. My guess is that Vivek is overconfident. You know, he's young, he's barely older than I am, he's a smarmy piece of shit. Like, he very obviously has a high opinion of himself. He's probably just like an empty sociopath who craves power, probably thought that he could just use this as another platform. I don't think this is going very well for him.
Influencing what politicians do.
Okay, so you are clear. So you're saying it does apply to Trump. So Trump
literally me
when he took his super PACs took over $100 million in both elections from Sheldon Adelson.
I said the same thing I said at the very beginning. It is legal, and that's why we need to change it. We need to change the system where you do not want people to effectively have disproportionate influence on their politicians.
So
I think I agree on that. Change the law. What's the game you're trying to play?
Because he's like, he's like, this is bad because it's corrupt. And Cenk is like, well, here's 50 examples of Trump doing this thing. And Vivek's like, well, if that happened, I guess, I don't know, that'd be bad, I guess. So Cenk's like, okay, so you are saying then that he is corrupt, that Donald Trump is corrupt. And Vivek's like, what? Why are you asking me to be consistent with my position? Why are you asking me to follow the logical conclusion of my beliefs in a direction that would lead me to criticize Donald Trump, the person whose cock is currently in my throat?
I'm just trying to understand.
It is a corrupt system.
And Donald Trump participated in that corrupt system and is part of that corruption. That's okay. You're running against him. There's nothing wrong with that. I agree with you.
I really don't. The level of obsession. I mean, the Trump derangement syndrome. It's really sad.
He's polling at 59%, brother. You're polling at 7%. What do you mean Trump derangement syndrome?
Not only that, look, in this country.
But Vivek, you're running against. He's the number one.
Literally running against him, bro. Imagine saying Trump derangement syndrome when you're running against him. You're trying to primary him.
Republican candidate, you're running against him. What do you mean obsession?
It's just befuddling that you refuse to call him out on anything.
How many times has George Soros' son visited Joe Biden?
Yep. And the moment they get flustered and realize that they don't have any way out of the conversation, they start the whataboutisms with just the insane train of fucking conspiracy theories that they have lined up for situations like these.
I'm not running against any of those candidates. I know you want me to think I'm running against Trump. I'm not running against any.
I'm sorry. Is there another presidential primary that you are running in? Is there another? I'm sorry. I must have this confused. I thought you were. I guess, is this just him being masked off about him wanting to be VP? Like, dude, Jesus Christ.
Any of those candidates, I'm running against that system. And I think that that's something that probably on a day where you're in line with your principles,
this is fucking embarrassing, dude.
Someone needs to run against that system. It is going to take somebody who is willing to, and unfortunately the way that works today is every donor who dances to the tune of their biggest donor, every candidate who dances to the tune of the biggest donor, in my case, that biggest donor is me. And the reason I'm running is it's-
I know who's going to shake up the system of corruption in Washington. A far-right venture capitalist who got his money by defrauding investors. Oh yeah, here we go. The anti-corruption ticket being led by Hitler. Jesus Christ.
You've said that you're against secularism. So which religion should rule us all?
None. That is the answer.
Well, isn't that secularism?
That's not secularism. I think
that is secularism.
Capitalist secularism is something that has used a substitute religious-like worldview to foist that affirmatively onto multiple institutions across this country.
Actually, atheism is the real religion. And I know that because atheists believe things sometimes, and believing stuff is like a religion, man.
I think that there are many forcible agendas. If you have to pledge allegiance to a diversity, equity, inclusion agenda as a function.
You don't. You don't have to pledge allegiance to it. That's not how that works.
Of getting a job. I think that is a Title VII violation, civil rights violation today. So I don't believe that there should be any religion, secular humanism or otherwise, foisted upon anyone, certainly not through the government.
Okay, so the practical purpose of this rhetoric is him saying, I'm for equality of religion. And for that reason, I don't think we should have the religion of wokeness forced on people. That's it. It really is that stupid and blunt and crude and idiotic. It is that bad. That is what he is saying here.
My view is you have free expression in the United States. I'm an ardent defender of religious liberty. Whatever your religion is, you have the right to practice it as long as you're not explicitly harming somebody else.
That's literally secularism, Vivek. That's literally the definition of secularism.
That's actually, well then, Cenk.
Well, no, because if we had secularism, then why is it that people are woke? Why do people believe in gods like diversity and tolerance?
I'd say is respectfully, whatever word you use to describe it. Now I've written a whole book about this, and so we can debate the vocabulary, but in concept, I believe that every religion should be practicable in the United States with religious liberty as long as you're not harming somebody else. And the government cannot establish any one religion as the governing religion for the United States of America.
And yet the Biden administration has established diversity, equity, and inclusion as the religion of America. Wokeness and critical race theory and transgender are the religions of America. Yes, he is describing secularism. He just wants to frame wokeness as a religion. Nice meme. All right, that was pretty great. Nicely done, TYT. The T's were YTing, is what I'm saying. Nicely done. Well done. Good shit. Love that. Love that.